see how many care, how many stand up, how many dare, how many care, how many stand up, how many dare. Oh, look at what we've done. Oh, look at what we've done. Nothing left to give. Bracking the earth, the place where we live. Water we can't drink. Chemical spills, rivers that stink. How many care? How many stand up? How many dare? How many care? How many stand up? How many dare? Oh, look at what we've done. Oh, look at what we've done. Tell me it's not true.
Oh, sometimes the music of John Lawrence puts you in a frame of mind. He has a fantastic voice. I hope you have a chance to get out there and listen to him. He's got a lot of great music and a lot of great messages in his music. Anyway, it's Tuesday, baby. It's Tuesday. I know that because I woke up this morning and damn well it was Tuesday. So, oh shit. Yeah, I did that. I did that already. How about that shit? JT Libs was the first one to jump in, followed by Cobra Jet Cat, Bunny Griffin. Thank you for being here. Sam is here. Debbie Kerpran, Annette Serrano, Penny Hartleben, and Carl Vogel are sharing the stage. Sharon Bettridge. Sharon Bettridge. Dan Hack and Jeanette Miller, Irene Lambert. Thank you so much for everything you do, baby. I appreciate you so much and often think about you. Anyway, well, I do. Anyway, Roger Himmelwright, and Demetrius Cephas are all in the road. Jay Nosewood, Jamie B. Walt Now Pig is here. So hell, we're in the game, baby. Kelly Harris is here. Let me come on down here. We won't get started. Robin is in the room, as is Harmony, Spicy Curry Today, and Don Cheeto, who is just I love that guy character. Anyway, it is Tuesday. So what's going on today? Well, dolphins and sharks and fish, all sorts of aquatic wildlife went on today. I spent a little time listening to the news this morning, and me and my sons and Rose went to the Texas State Aquarium today, and spent a relaxing afternoon watching the fish and the sharks and everything that the Texas State Aquarium has to offer here in Corpus Christi. It is a fantastic place to go see, and I recommend it highly to anybody that comes down into the Bay Area. But yeah, trying to chill out. There's a lot going on, as y'all know, in my life, and sometimes shit gets overwhelming and you just need to chill. So that's what I did. I went and chilled today at the Texas State Aquarium. But before I did, I got to listen to the news a little bit. But there was a running theme in my head all through the time I was sitting there, and that is every time. It's just a general, and I'm sure y'all have noticed that every time you get a Trumper up there, I don't care if it's the press secretary, the trade secretary, anybody that is speaking on the way of Trump, on behalf of Trump, the Supreme Court, that's a whole other damn kissing Trump's ass, indeed. there's a common theme. Right after they dodge whatever question they were asked with some bullshit answer, the conversation immediately starts to how great Donald Trump is, that no president in the history of the world, history of the United States, has ever done anything as grand as Donald Trump. And you know, it's that constant drumbeat of every Republican that gets on TV. I don't care if it's a senator, a congressman, a cabinet member. They all sing his praise like there's no tomorrow. Like it's a requirement of the job that you have to sit there and grovel at his feet to praise him for everything and to demonize every president, especially the last one, which they don't mind one bit at all. Every time they're asked the question, they're, oh, well, Biden didn't do this, he didn't do that, he didn't have the courage for this. He had a whole lot more going on than this asshole, which was reflected in the market today. It got a little excited today, went up 1,300 points today in the positive territory. Yeah, and then China said, fuck you, and it went down. Dropped over 320, I think, went in the negative territory again. That's where it's going to stay, I think, for a while. What do I know? Not a financial genius. Shit. I don't have money in that game. But a lot of people do. And they're taking a beating on this shit. And, yeah. Anyway, I had a relaxing time at the aquarium. And I think it helped a little bit today. Might have to revisit the place several times just to get that relaxing atmosphere of watching fish. Hi, Miss Chick.
I love aquariums, John.
Do y'all have one up there?
No, but I've been to some, various other states.
Right.
There's a nice one out in Mystic, Connecticut.
Well, there you go. That's closer.
Yeah.
Than Texas.
Yeah.
But we have a nice one down here.
And there was this really nice one in a shopping mall area in Arizona that was really nice too.
Wow. In Arizona. Go figure. That's
Go
where
figure.
that's where they need them. Hey, before we get started, I forgot, as John often does, I got mail. I got mail from Donna Sorensen from Sturtevant, Wisconsin. And she sent a nice little card and a nice little donation in there. Thank you very much, Donna. And she put her phone number in there, so I called her. Had a nice little conversation there. Yes. And as I mentioned, now she has my phone number, and use it as often as you like, darling. Anyway.
Chat with John.
Yeah, it was a nice chat. Well, we talked a little bit of politics. It's hard to have a conversation with anybody nowadays without a little bit of fuck Trump in there.
Yeah, unless it's a Trumper, and then you just don't have a conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Leave that on my voicemail. Shit.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, anything going on?
Well, you know my brain, John.
Yes.
I'm getting really tired of hashing over all the bullshit that happens on a daily basis. And
it gets tiring, doesn't it?
Well, it's like, okay, we heard that all day. We heard it all day.
We heard it all day yesterday.
It bounces around like a ping pong game, right? They just keep lobbing the ball back and forth, back and forth. Tariffs or not, or whatever the particular item is.
Yeah.
But I wanted to put some hopeful news out here before you bring everybody in to talk about all that.
We could use a little of that.
I just want to remind everybody that it's literally only been about 60 days that we've been resisting. And the original resistance day, which was, do I have the original? Was it February 5th? I think was the first organized resistance day.
Right.
They counted approximately 72,000 people participated on that day, February 5th, in resistance.
Right.
Here we are 60 days later,
and
they counted 5.2 million people.
That's quite a jump, isn't it?
That's quite a jump in 60 days. We can do this, people.
I think it's going to do nothing but grow. It's
Yeah.
going to do nothing but grow. People are outraged. People are just, it's bad enough that he tanked the stock market for those who do have 401ks and are still vested in it. He just threw a wrench into there, just knocked everything down, lost, billions, if not trillions of dollars of market value. And what did he do? He played golf. Played golf all weekend. He won the tournament, though.
Apparently,
with his Saudi
he
Arabian buddies, he
may
won.
have gotten someone a little pissed off at the Heritage Foundation, even.
Oh, yeah? Pray
Leonard
tell.
Leo. Leonard Leo filed some kind of lawsuit.
I thought he was
But
a
here's
big...
the thing here's the thing with those people. When they file things, there's usually an agenda behind it. So I'm not really sure what the whole story is. But he was saying that his tariffs, some of his tariffs were unconstitutional and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I think you're pushing that to go to the Supreme Court. That's why you filed. But we'll find out. We'll find out.
Actually, he's right. Congress,
Oh,
in
he
the
is.
Constitution, the Congress has the purse strings. Now, there's been several amendments, or not amendments to the Constitution. There have been several rulings by Congress. Oh, shit, where'd everything go? I hate it when everything in front of me goes black.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, you can still hear me? I'm
Yeah, I can hear
assuming.
you.
They're in past Congresses, they have passed emergency powers to the president in order to in times of war and other emergency crises to put tariffs effectively on another country. But we're not at war with anybody.
Right.
We're and he's throwing tariffs around all over the place. And as I understand it, 7 or 9, I think it was 9 Republican senators have taken sides with the Democrats. I think so.
It was 7, but yeah.
Oh, maybe it was 7 then. Maybe my mind's just dreaming. But
No, that's
still,
okay.
7. That's a pretty good start.
Well,
for
that
something
must have
where-
hurt them specifically
Yeah.
or something.
Oh, I'm sure.
But this
there's
Leonard Leo thing is, it only raises my eyebrows because we just know that they've got the Supreme Court in their pocket. So what is it that they really want out of that? I haven't seen the wording on this thing, because I'm pretty sure they would like to tear down the Constitution.
Oh, yes. They don't have much
So
use for it
it's
anymore.
got to have something to do with that. So I would keep my eyeballs on that because, okay, it makes it look like another spat in the White House or something, but I don't think so. I think they're
Yeah.
still on the same page.
The only spat I know of really is between Elon Musk and Peter Navarro.
Oh yeah, he called him.
Yeah, call
someone
him a
in
moron.
Vegas.
Call him a moron. Yeah, keep going. It's great entertainment. Hey, before this goes by, because it did not pop up, our Hans just came in with a $10 donation. Our Hans, thank you very much. I appreciate that. If there's no comment, it won't pop up on the screen. And I only see it in the chat when it flies by.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did I have anything else in my head today?
Oh, shit. There's half of my stuff in my head I could do without.
I know they were pushing for more coal mining. That was the big thing today.
Oil prices are down. Yeah. Oil companies ain't too happy about that shit.
Oh, I know, my gas
Everything.
prices
Yeah.
are down around here. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, everything is up in the air right now.
And again, I don't know if this was for show or not, because they were talking about coal mining. And crap, I can't remember who he was talking about, but Senator Tom Tillis from North Carolina was in a committee meeting today. And he wanted to know, whose throat do I get to choke if this proves to be wrong? and it's, whoever it was said, well, I'm kind of the one you would come to. He didn't say choke me. He just said,
says here's my neck. Did he offer his neck up?
No, not really.
No,
he tried to
not
do
really.
some explaining, and that's when I went, I can't listen to all of it. I just can't.
There is a limit. There is a limit to this stuff. And after 8 years of just, That's why I went to the aquarium today. You know, it's after a while, this shit just wears on your mind. It pisses you off. You get things in your head that rant, and then all of a sudden something comes up in my head, and everything I had just had in my head for a rant is just laying somewhere on the ground somewhere when I was walking.
You have one other
Where it
item of
just
good
fell
news,
out. What?
I think. I mean, it's hopeful news. Have you seen what's going on in Taiwan?
With the Chinese puffing up a little bit?
Well, no, not just that. The Taiwanese themselves, they are puffing up a little bit. If you would have asked them, what did he say, 2 years
They're
ago,
taking a
would they be
defensive
ready
mode,
to
yeah,
defend
I would imagine.
themselves? Some of the people said no. They asked some people today, currently, do you think you are ready to defend yourselves and stand up for yourselves? And they said, we're 50% sure. So that's a big boost. So they're doing readiness in Taiwan, all types of readiness, and some of it even includes like militia training. And they are also standing with Ukraine. They are taking their inspiration from Ukraine. And
Ain't
I
that
love
something?
that.
Ain't that something?
Said if
You know,
Ukraine can do it, we can do it.
for as long well, again, in my early days in the Navy, I went to Taipei, Taiwan, flew into Taipei. I remember seeing soldiers on the street, barbed wire. Uh, China has always wanted to take Taiwan. They consider it their territory, and it has been by our support that hasn't happened. But now with Donnie in there, and the way Donnie's acting towards I'm sorry, my burglar alarm went off.
I hear them.
Do you hear my burglar alarm?
I hear
Yep, that's
them.
them. With the way Donnie has acted in Ukraine, and his showing his weakness to Russia, China's looking at this as an opportunity possibility to go ahead. And what would we do if they attack? Do you think we're going to come to Taiwan's aid right now
No,
in this atmosphere?
no.
I don't think this president would do it.
And is it
And
the
I think
Chinese
Z
that
knows
are
that.
in Australia? Who's out there on the edge of Australia? That the Chinese?
Ah,
I get confused. I think it might be.
yes, I think so. Oh, no, I don't have my globe in front of me. Uh, yes, I think so. Yes.
Mm. But when it comes to the protesting, I looked at all of the wonderful videos and snitches and snatches people put on Facebook and other things, and they're all nice. They're all lovely. I see a lot of older people meaning our age. We need younger people. We need lots more younger people. I'm hoping they're coming along. I saw a few. Um, but yeah, we have to get a little more, I think, on board with one message. One message, not a million messages. One. No
And that
fascism,
message.
no Trump. That's all you need.
Yeah.
No fascism,
No
no Trump.
fascism. Hey, let's invite one of one of our favorite angry voices.
Well, he might not be too angry, or he might.
Well,
Never know.
he could be
Never
having
know
a
what
good
you're gonna
day.
do.
You never know. He could be having a good day and just all happy. What about
Yeah.
it, Kirk? Are you happy?
Oh, it's a mixed feeling today.
Oh, well, there you go.
I don't know. I was slightly uplifted by the Supreme Court establishing that some sort of due process needs to be in place. God forbid we have due process in this country.
Well, what do we need that
Christ.
for? You got Donnie. He can, and we can just send in mask agents and just sweep you right off the street. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not going to have the DC. They're not going to have the DC district. It sounds like it's going to be down. It's going to be Texas, as far as judges for that.
That
That's
guy.
not good. That's not good.
Kasmeric or Kasmarin or something like that. Yeah, it's not good.
No, so tariffs.
Mm.
Yes.
Now that one I'm not very uplifted on, because that's a bunch of bullshit there. So you guys had mentioned this. So the International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977 is why Donald Trump is usurping Congress right now and taking this matter into his own hands. He's using that loophole to claim emergency powers, basically, to impose all these tariffs.
Right.
So, it's just like with these deportations. It's the Alien Enemies Act of 1798.
Oh, he's reaching back.
Yeah.
Well, we had to manufacture something first. We had to have an emergency. Something's an emergency. Oh, war on drugs. Oh, no. Well,
fentanyl,
okay, that didn't
fentanyl. Yeah, coming in through Canada like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah. Now it's just gang members. Okay, we got to pick something. You have to have an emergency.
No, it's fucking astonishing to me that, we're left with a fucking bull market by Joe Biden. Everything was fine and fucking dandy. America was fucking happy. And he's got to come in and say, oh my God, the world is screwing us over. We need to penalize the fucking planet, penguins and polar bears included. And now we want to talk about not even a crazy idea of a 100% on China. Now it's 104%.
104% tariff. That's double the cost of anything that you're importing. Anything. And that's a lot of shit. Right before the show, I saw on the news, they're talking to some guy that owns an appliance store, and he was talking about air fryers. There is no place in the United States that makes air fryers. Nowhere. You want an air fryer? It comes from China. There's a lot of shit. Clothes, everything you wear doesn't come from here. Nope. It was made someplace else. Everything we damn well buy comes from someplace else. So guess what?
I seen a video the other day. I watched a good video the other day talking about these tariffs and getting into the nitty-gritty of strategic tariffs. In other words, tariffs that are
targeted
into a targeted tariffs. Yes, meaning we have the production capability, the industries, the factories here in a certain industry. So when we apply a tariff on another country regarding that sector, we're good because we have everything in place.
We have the capacity to build it ourselves, to manufacture it ourselves. We don't have a lot of that anymore.
Right. So when you look at this at face value and you want to try to tariff the entire planet in an effort to bring the entire planet's industry to the United States, I don't think we have even enough real estate to do that.
No.
In the first
we
place,
don't.
Not to mention, like you say, some shit you just can't get. You have to import it. There's just some goods that cannot be made here, like Apple phones. They can't be made here. That's just a fact. You cannot make an Apple phone here in this country.
I think they estimated the cost of an Apple phone. I don't remember what it was. There's some astronomical amount if it was made in the United States. Who was it that called the Chinese peasants? Was that, that's J.D. Vance? Yes, J.D. Vance. As trade war looms, J.D. Vance escalates tensions by referring to Chinese people as peasants. And when he was talking about importing those jobs, putting the screw in the iPhone, like what that other guy was talking about, whatever Trump head was talking about. Well, that's what he basically is talking about. Those are the jobs he wants to bring to America, where you turn into a peasant, putting screws in the iPhone for little or no pay, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, whatever the fuck they'll change the law to. That's what he's talking about, but that's not going to happen here.
And the crazy thing about all this is, if we were in some alternate reality going to bring all of these jobs here, the next thing that the fucking people would be screaming out loud and crying about is the fact that shit's so fucking expensive. Yeah. Well, you stupid dumbasses, that's why we have global trade in the first goddamn
That's
place.
why that it's a global marketplace now. Because in America benefits highly from that.
Well, instead of, fighting and not having our unions like we used to have so that we could have our wages raise along with inflation so that we could afford to buy our own stuff. No, we had to go the other way, and you can't afford to buy our stuff.
Priced ourselves out of the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people want it cheaper. They want it better and cheaper. They want something with good quality. And in China, you got to admit, over the years, now it used to be if it made in China was a joke. Now, no, not so much.
Well, it used to be, John, when I was a young person, a kid, a factory job was a good job. Well, yeah,
yes,
a factory job was a good job.
Yes, it was.
And now it's looked upon
benefits.
as a factory job, right? A lot of people don't want to do that. They want to make
we
big
just
bucks.
don't have the capacity to scale up the kind of manufacturing that he's talking about. We just don't have that and even if we did, it would take years to develop and build a plant in the United States to build a particular product. It's not like this happens overnight. And
he say people and
What's that?
Well, and then you would have to bring in the workforce, train the people, and that doesn't take a minute.
Well,
it takes a while to do that.
If you're hiring peasants, there'd be massive unemployment. Everybody would be begging for a job, no matter how much you got paid. That's my standard line. They want you poor, hungry, and needing a job. You look back over 8 years. I said that 8 years ago, because that's what corporate America wants. A workforce that is poor, hungry, and needing a job. If you're in that situation, you're not going to quit that job, baby. You got bills to pay. You got to put groceries on the table. You want to drive your car, you got to put gas in that car. Shit, you got bills coming out the wazoo.
Yeah. It was funny during the pandemic, people were doing the opposite. They were like, I don't know if that job's worth it.
Yeah.
And so they had to start raising the wages.
Yes, and they did. But not on the federal level yet.
No. Not officially.
No.
Yeah.
No, but
and that's another thing.
Go ahead.
That's another thing that Trump torched within his first few days that just astonishes me. So we had one of our semi trucks actually sit for 6 months during the pandemic because we were waiting on some sort of a control module that inside the truck. So this truck was literally grounded, couldn't drive it, couldn't nothing, because we couldn't get this module that had this computer chip technology in it.
Yep.
So when Joe Biden comes into office, seeing the supply chain issues that we had, that guy,
Yeah, that guy.
The Chips and Science Act, to
yes, I remember that. Yes.
To start this production of chips and everything, which is in a lot of things, from your cell phone to your car.
Damn near everything we play with nowadays has a chip in it.
So that was kind of like a hindsight 2020 situation where we had seen kind of a weakness within our industry through the pandemic, and we're like, okay, to try to make this situation a little bit less painful next time, God forbid we have another pandemic, we're going to have chip production here. And Trump killed that, So,
why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? It's
there's
sad.
a level of just pettiness, just straight up pettiness.
How long do you think really before the right, the conservative, really start bailing en masse from him?
I'll tell you when. Wednesday at midnight. That's when the fucking tariffs start kicking in.
That's when the tariffs start digging in. That's tomorrow night. That's tomorrow night, right? Or is it tonight at midnight? It's tonight, I think.
Oh, yeah, it would be.
It would be Wednesday at 12:01 a.m. in the morning. So, yeah, wake up tomorrow, baby. It's all going to be already done. It's a done deal. And I got news for him. China is not going to back off. Now, every time you listen to them on the damn news or the press secretary, they're talking about, their phones are ringing off the hook with every country in the world. They're calling to make a deal from countries that we don't hardly get shit from. China is the big dog in this race, and they're not calling. They're standing. They're holding their hand. Matter of fact, they're up in the ante. You know, they can withstand the pain longer than we can. That's the sad thing. China is prepared to take a hit. Is it going to help China? No, but they'll absorb it. Not so much on our end. Anyway,
yeah.
Let's see if what Curly has to say. Oh, look at there. I didn't even see him in there. Let's see if Curly wants to come up here. He's got his hand up. Curly, you coming up, buddy? No?
Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Well, let's go ahead and invite up our resident alien. That's what our resident alien. Hey, while we're waiting on Dave to come up, let me thank Keith Thompson. That Marine came in with a $5 donation and said, many of Minnesota has floated the notion of succession in joining Canada. I hope you're serious. It's that had to come up sooner or later with people, just, it's not going to happen. But it adds to the sentiment of the nation and what Donald Trump has done to this nation and continues to do. So, that's the big, shit. You have to wonder just how long. Well, ain't that some shit? Anyway, Yelly Man, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing, John?
I'm doing all right. Hanging in there for another day.
For another day, another dollar.
Yeah, I went to the Texas State Aquarium, seen a bunch of porpoises do a bunch of tricks, seen a bunch of turtles and fish. And
did you find any penguins there?
No penguins. No penguins. I didn't make it all the way through, though. Through. It's a pretty good.
Maybe they've been taxed to the hilt.
Maybe so.
They've been on the phone. They've been on the phone with the White House trying
to negotiate a deal.
Yeah.
Tuxedo ring around something. I don't know what it was.
So that I can have some fish to eat. They need that. No, it's our news here in Norway is all about the tariffs. The European Union is going to hit America with 25%. So, it's going to be a trade war. That's how it's going to be. He just hit China with 104%.
104% tariffs on China.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What good do you think that's going to do to anybody? Is that going to help anybody? Not going to help.
Oh, it's going to. I mean, it's going to hurt everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the old saying goes, "What's a little pain compared to my love?" That's what Donnie's saying. What's a little pain? I love y'all. Just don't worry about it. Y'all suck it up.
Yeah. So he said you were going to win. You were going to get tired of winning. I don't know.
Yeah, he also said prices were going to come down on day one, and he said a lot of shit because ignorant people suck that up, and people believe him because they are filled with hate in their heart and all that other shit. They hate everybody else, so he's going to say there's going to be a chicken in every pot. You bet there's going to be a chicken in your pot. What's that? No chicken? Yeah.
No chickens.
Here's some bullion. Bullion.
John, Trump came very close to that phrase that you've used on here, the shut up and drink your vodka.
Yeah.
This weekend, he literally told the American people regarding these tariffs, take your medicine.
Take your medicine. That was right out of his mouth. Sometimes you just have to take the medicine. Is he taking the medicine? No. He's pinching our nose and trying to force us to take it. And the medicine ain't no good, baby. I think it's snake oil.
Are you tired of winning, John?
Yeah, I'm tired of winning. Dave, how are you?
Oh, hi guys. I didn't even expect to be called up. Thank you very much. I haven't
if you're
got a lot
down
to say,
there,
but
I have a tendency to call you up. I value your opinion. And besides that, the audience loves your accent.
Oh shit! Well, how's that?
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
That's better.
We understood every word of it, Dave.
That's my alien, Aussie alien.
Oh, is that
you
what
did
it
call
is?
me an alien? Did you
No,
call
we
me?
appreciate
Was I
your
a
input
resident?
because you Yelly Man also, and others that have been in here. It's the things that
I hope
America
it doesn't
does
create problems.
impacts the world.
Oh yeah.
I just hope it doesn't create problems being an alien in your country. Actually, I'm not really an alien. I'm half American anyhow, so stuff it.
Yeah, no shit.
You're arguing
listen.
with yourself. I don't know.
I'm just you hit on something a short while ago. You said Americans seem to believe his lies and blah blah blah, which is true. This is half the problem because it's like MAGA likes Trump because he hurts the things that they hate. Whatever, if they hated baked beans, he would attack baked beans to keep them happy. But speaking of lies, he was on TV, not TV, or was Newsmax, and on a telephone interview,
Right.
and they asked him a question about, are the tariffs working or going to work? And he says, well, they're already working. In Indiana, Honda's going to build a big factory and employ lots of people, and they're coming back. They already have the freaking factory in there. It's been there for ages. He's describing a factory that's already there, but it's going to be a new factory that
Who's going to look,
building.
Dave? Who's going to go look?
It's bullshit. It's just bullshit.
Not his maggots. That's what he sells.
I'm offended.
That's all
I'm offended
he sells.
as a country.
Every statement that comes out of that man's mouth, there's no definitive answer to anything that he talks about. It's always mush. It's word salad. So much of it, and I don't.
But John, he said to the people he's put tariffs on. He's basically said to them, this is gangster tactics. He's basically said, you do us a favor, or you work with me, or work with us, and we'll lift the tariffs. So in other words, if you don't play my game, I'll attack you. No matter which way you look at it, how you spread it, it is a gangster tactic of saying, like, nice country you got there. Not that he would
be ashamed if anything happened to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but not that he would attack it. He would hurt their economy if they don't play with him.
And so many times in history, an economic attack stems a physical attack. When you attack a country economically and put it in dire straits, you think they ain't going to stand by it and do something? Take a look at history, baby.
Well, look at Richard Gere. He was out on there saying on one of these award shows. It was an award show for Lifetime Achievement Award show only last week. And he said, Richard Gere, now he's under attack now. But he said it's hard to work or to understand what's happening with our country when your leader is a bully and a thug. That's what he said about Trump. When your leader is a bully and a thug. Hate crime went up under Trump. This is all Richard Gere talking. Now he's under attack. I don't think it's as bad as it was in the numbers
we're
of his
We're at a perilous time now, and that is one of the things that I fear is that, and you saw how many people were in the streets this past weekend.
Yes.
The protests were loud and they were large, and I think they're going to continue to get bigger. How can they not?
Yes.
With people losing their jobs, just not even. I mean, counting just who the government has laid off in the hundreds of thousands, but all the businesses those impact, and the shit that he's doing with trade, it's going to impact businesses. Some businesses aren't going to be able to sustain that shit. They'll have to close their doors. This thing it's a shit stain that just keeps spreading out. It's like mold. Like I used to talk when he came in the office the first time, he's going to spread his mold all over the place. His little maggot mold, and it is. It's happening again.
It's offensive, though, that he's assuming that every American is stupid and believes what he says. And I would think he believes that. I think he believes all Americans believe him. And there's only a few dissidents out there who attack the Teslas and who don't agree with him.
Yeah. Yeah, the radical right, the radical left lunatics. You know,
no such thing.
Yeah,
I don't think there may be a small radical left, but it's nowhere near what the radical right is. And I'd rather be a radical left than a radical right either way. I mean, the radical right has never done anything good for the world.
No, they're always wanting to kick somebody's ass.
Yeah,
the radical left is always trying to help somebody with their problems, lift them up from poverty, or provide health care or some service to them. That's what the left does.
Why is he sticking his nose in Gaza when all these years up to this point, when he was president before, he never he only cared about Netanyahu, not Gaza. Now he calls it real estate. I was talking to Yelly Man last
night. Prime real estate, beachfront property. All we got to do is get rid of all those people. That was his comment.
It's a people's country.
We have to just disseminate those people, just move those people. And there's places that want to take them. Lots of countries want to take the people, and we just need to move the people out, and then we can just get in there, and the U.S. can own it, and we can build it into a wonderful. It's disgusting to listen to him describe
the humanity.
The humanity. Because like I always say, I don't give a shit what you say about that part of the world. When I was a kid, I remember looking at the map, seeing a country called Palestine.
Yep.
It's not there. It's not there. And these people that he just called, they're just people. Well, so were the Jews in Nazi Germany. They were just people. Just put them on boxcars and move them out. That's all you got to do.
John, you know,
is the messaging any different?
Solution.
Huh?
You know they have a two-state solution there.
Yeah, two-state solution. Yeah, that's the shit they've been selling for what I've been paying attention to at least for 50 years. I've seen presidents and prime ministers and just everybody meet and discuss the possibilities of a two-state solution, and there isn't one. Israel has put settlements all over the West Bank. There's no two states to it. It's bullshit. It's meant to just be propaganda to keep the I don't know, the hopes up, or keep the people blinded to what's actually happening. I think the latter.
The only two-state solution that I've seen coming out of his mouth is fucking Canada can be our 51st state and Gaza can be our 52nd.
Yep,
There's
there you go.
Solution.
Yeah, Puerto Rico's still waiting on the list after all that too.
And how unfair of a deal is that? We're gonna take your land, but you can't come to our country. Fuck off.
Hey, you got $5 million, you can. Hey, you got $5 million, we got the Trump card. The gold Trump card.
But that's right,
the gold
Kirk.
card. Yeah.
Exactly, Kirk, what you said.
Yeah.
How dare he threaten another country that he had no interest in before, that the people have a right, and he comes along at the end of it all and says, hey, I'm putting my hand up, I'm taking it over now, America's going to own this because I want the real estate.
Think of that.
It's so fucking hypocritical for him to fucking say, hey, he's trying to send these Palestinians to other countries that are like, why would we want Palestinians here? But yet, within our own country, we're trying to send people the hell out of here.
And U.S. citizens are being placed the possibility on that list, too. I'm looking at a headline over here. White House floats deporting U.S. citizens. Deporting them to prisons. Like in El Salvador. U.S. citizens. The hell with the green card. We're talking citizens because of population, prison population. We'll make a deal with another country. Why don't you hold our prisoners here? Hold this for me, would you?
Well, I wonder what El Salvador is getting out of this. Like,
plenty.
What deal Trump's trying?
Plenty. We're paying.
Well, this Abrego Garcia situation, I hope I'm wrong, but it seems to me that this is a guardrail test for them, because they're basically going, okay, we are going to defy the court order. We're going to admit that we were wrong, and then we're going to say we can't bring that person back, and we're going to see how far along we can take this. And if we can get away with this, maybe the next person might have a European last name.
Well, I think he's certainly wants to be king of the world, and it's obvious to every country that he's not happy ruling America. He wants to rule the commerce of the world. He wants to control world commerce.
He wants the power of Putin and the adulation of Kim Jong-un. That's the two things Donnie wants the most.
Hey, we're laughing over here. We're saying next to be wearing a uniform, a general or a super general's uniform.
Don't count it out. He's calling for a fucking parade. He's calling for a military fucking parade. I think it's on June 14th, which is Flag Day. And it, by the way, it happens to be his birthday, too. It happens to be his birthday.
What did we say when he got kicked out the last election, just before he got kicked out?
He wanted one last time. And the general said, no, we don't do that shit. But now he's replaced all those generals.
Uniform. My God.
I'm expecting it any day. Probably on his birthday in front of a fucking whole military parade with tanks and missiles and everything of troops marching down in front of the White House to honor the great Poobah. Yes, that's what he wants.
How much will that cost?
Millions, buddy, millions.
92 million.
Yeah.
92 million.
$92 million.
But that's small pennies to pay for the glory of Trump.
North Korea, when he does his big military parade, you know what they do? They drive him around the block. There's only 40 or 50 vehicles. They just drive around the block.
Yeah, they just keep coming around and going again.
Oh, and let's not forget he wants to add $1 trillion to the defense budget.
Well,
$1 trillion fucking dollars.
I swear, I am for a strong defense. I serve this country. I'm about as patriotic as you can come to when it comes to our Defense Department. But if you ask me where the big drain of money is in our country, yes, the Defense Department. Hey, let me catch up real quick. Dumpster Diving Dragon came in with $2, said, loving for Jenny's next hay bale. Donkey kisses. Dumpster Diving Dragon, I appreciate that, but Jenny doesn't live here anymore.
You can still buy your treats when you go to visit, John.
Yeah. Joseph Martinez came in with $5 and said, is there any truth that Trump tried to declare martial law on 420? Well, I wouldn't doubt it. 420. That reminds me.
Well, you know, he's used this Economy Powers Act for the tariffs. He's used the fucking Alien Enemies Act.
Oh, he's going to pull it. Yeah.
Here.
He'll go back to some act in 1779 and declare that, you know, it doesn't
Finish your
matter.
call out,
you know,
it was like 8 of them.
Oh, it was like 8 of them, you said, Missy Chick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the fucking first time that we've had a president that's literally trying to conduct himself with fucking war powers and executive orders. It's fucking full-on tyranny.
It's all right, buddy.
Because, hey, when you use war powers and fucking, you know, yeah, that's how you skip Congress right there. War powers.
That's why Elon Musk and Trump are fighting. You know why they're fighting? They're fighting because Trump put a tax on fentanyl, didn't he? I think Elon Musk's cost just went up. He's the only.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
The only one. Yeah, he's the only one benefiting.
Let me finish up here. Let me catch up real quick because Rick came in with a $20 donation. Rick, thank you very much. Jenny Morgan came in with a $10 donation and said, good evening, stranger visiting, first time in a year. Are we tired of winning? How about I'm tired of the massively profound and stupidity of the fucking guy in the Reichstag. Yes, baby. Yeah, well, welcome back, Jen. Been gone for a little while, but we're just family, here. Baby. Family's always here. And Maria Betancourt came in with $5 and said Palestine was illegally occupied 1967. Zionist Jews illegally occupied Palestine. And Dean Baker came in with $2 and said, with Donnie, too much is never enough. Indeed, baby. Yeah, when ever since Israel was formed, there's been a problem. And it's been, there's no getting around it. I don't know the answer to the Middle East. There is no answer to the Middle East. It's where all the religions collide. And I just think when you have that happen, there is no hope. It's theology against theology against theology. And there's no winning in that war. So I don't know how long it's going to go on. But I wish they'd quit trying to sell us the two-state solution bullshit. Because anybody that looks at the settlements in the West Bank, there is no land left. And we're talking about taking the people. Just get rid of those people in Gaza, just get rid of those bugs on the ground. Just fumigate the fucking place.
And bombing them again. So, what the hell? Just like I said from the very beginning,
they won't have to tear it down because they're already destroying every standing building there, damn near.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's a travesty what's going on. But it's been that way all my life. That place.
The fact that that Trump is involved just means it's going to get messier. What should have happened years ago? Netanyahu should have been told to get off and get his ass out of there.
I think the only reason he's not in prison is because he's the president or the prime minister of Israel. That's why he's not in jail.
I said to Yelly Man last night, I said to him, I think that NATO and the UN, to me, feel like toothless tigers. You got Russia and America involved in the UN, and no matter if the UN does something good for humanity, good for the world, but maybe not so good for Russia or America or other, they can veto it. What's the point of having humanitarian organizations there to stop what happened in 1930, 1940 with the Jews? And they said it will never happen again. We will not allow this to happen again. The UN was formed. And what happens? The biggest offenders and the biggest threat to the world, Russia, can veto anything the UN do. So what's the point of having them? Go home. Just go home, because leave Russia there and America to veto anything that you decide.
Those are the big players.
What's the point of the UN?
Russia, China,
is the point of the UN only to discuss butter prices or to discuss if butter's available or milk's available in other countries? No, it's there to stop threats and danger to the people, the innocent people, the kids, the children, the mothers.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think of those children.
That's the plan. That's why we have NATO forces, to try to enforce those. What the hell's going on with my computer?
But why do we have NATO then? Why do we have UN? They're only effective as long as they're not trying to defend small countries against big countries. That's all they're effective. Small countries, but when it comes to Russia, America, there's no UN, there's no NATO, because they may just have you two guys in a room and say that you're NATO, Russia and you and America.
And they'll just decide.
And you can punch it out in the room, but the UN is just a waste of money. I'm sorry. Well, I'm sure there are other things.
It's becoming less and less relevant nowadays with the actions of the United States. Yeah, like you said, we cited the other day with Russia and North Korea, or not North Korea. Oh shit! Turkey?
And then you got Fox saying yesterday in the news the job numbers are good. This is what Fox said. The job numbers are good.
Well, the job numbers went up a little bit, but not as high as they were expected to. It was a less than expected jobs report. It went up a little bit.
Like Biden's reports? As good as?
No. As a matter of fact, this whole damn thing, this whole ball of wax, Donnie sold a big freaking lie of how everything was going to be roses and popcorn and unicorns and everything the day he was elected. And what has happened? He's been in there, 2.5 months? What is it? How many days now?
60-ish days.
Too many, whatever it is.
Too many,
and look where we are. The market has taken a tumble and cost lots of money. Lots of money. And people have been laid off, fired, heads of departments. You think you trust anybody in the government nowadays? No, I don't. He's put a bunch of lackeys in charge. I'm supposed to, trust Fred Flintstone in charge of the fucking military?
Fred Flintstone.
What's his name?
He come out and he said on TV, he says, to the people on Fox, I know what I'm doing. You're a fucking TV presenter. You've been in the job for 3 months.
You got to convince people you know what you're doing. If you have to say you know what you're doing, no, you don't. No, you don't. If you have to defend yourself from that shit. He's an idiot. We're talking about, what's his name, damn it? Hegseth.
Oh,
yeah.
Rolodex. Kind of screwed up.
Hegseth.
I actually have a Fred Flintstone car. I like them, they're very good downhill.
Downhill? What is it?
I see it, something in the chat, and I try to find it, and I can't find it because
the Fred Flintstone car. They're very good downhill.
Yeah. Hell of a good gas mileage downhill.
Yeah.
Or foot mileage. Pedal power.
But people are still attacking Teslas, and that's a little bit of a problem because somehow Trump will twist it into terrorist attacks.
He's already trying to do that. That
I see that.
Jeff?
But it's a danger.
Jeff needs to dance.
It's a danger.
It is a danger.
Danger to attack
If
Teslas.
everything looks like a nail, you use a hammer on everything.
Well, I got to tell you guys a little story.
Huh.
Okay.
Peter Navarro. You guys aren't going to believe this shit. And this is true. Anybody can look it up. This is so fucking crazy. You'd think it's satire, but it's not. It's total fact. So Peter Navarro is one of the people who got cold called by the Trump administration after Trump had his son Eric, in order to look up fucking economic policy, go on and start looking at book covers on Amazon and found Peter Navarro. Peter Navarro wrote a book. And inside of Peter Navarro's book, he had a character that he referred to in his 2011 book. And this book was called Death by China. The character's name was Ron Vera, Ronvara. So Peter Navarro literally took his last name, switched the letters out, and put a fictitious character in this book.
Are you shitting me?
And this is what was given to Trump.
You could give the man a comic book.
So
he'd buy it.
You can't make this shit up. It's unbelievable.
It's a disaster. Whatever he does, the lies. This guy couldn't survive if he couldn't lie. He would be the world's best liar if there was a medal for it.
He sells patriotism. He sells just everything. Everything. And I want to call. I got a couple to call out here, but there's one that just came in I want to get to. Keith Thompson, that Marine, came back with $2. Said, I heard this somewhere. Fuck Trump? Yeah. I know where you heard it. You hear it here a lot. Anyway, Maria Betancourt came in with $5 and said it's not about religion. It's about the land. Zionists want the land. It has been their goal since the late 1800s. All of them want the land. All of them want the land because that's where their deity did something or rose or anyway. All of them do. And this is the one. James Tripp came in with $5 and said, a military parade, but he can't go to an Air Force base to show appreciation for 4 dead soldiers out of Lithuania. And that is true. They were returned this weekend. Well, while Donnie was playing golf down at Mar-a-Lago with his Saudi Arabian buddies, making all sorts of money and deals, I'm sure. But couldn't go to Dover to welcome back American dead.
That
so
right
patriotic.
He was golfing.
Man.
It was golfing.
Well, yeah, but it was American golfing. Yeah, that's a ticket. It was patriotic golfing. Yeah, that's right. Every time he hit the ball, it was for the Star Spangled Banner, and Eagles were. Yeah. They'll sell it, whatever the fuck, because they'll buy it. It doesn't matter. It's like him hugging that flag. Oh, look, he loves the. No, he's rubbing his pecker on it. He's screwing the United States for everything he can get. And these maggots are still sucking it up every damn day. Every damn day they treat him. Oh, yeah.
Well,
he hasn't got a patriotic bone in his freaking body. He was a draft dodger then. He has no respect for the military now. He never did. Look, suckers and losers. That's all he thinks. Just a bunch of dead idiots out there who were stupid enough to stand up and fight for democracy and freedom, like they're doing in Ukraine right now. But, as far as Donnie's goes, suckers and losers, baby. What are you doing out there? Dying for your country for a cause. Shit. That's what this country is held on to, baby.
Is evil as Lex Luthor. He's the Lex Luthor. He's
the Lex evil Luthor. Guy in every scenario. Whatever comic book character you want to talk about, he's the evil guy. He's the dastardly
He's the monster
doer.
Under your bed. He's the monster under every American's bed. He's come out. And now he's a world problem because he's forcing a global recession. It affects 100 nations. Even our penguins.
Even the penguins. And
I
right
see them leaving
that
America.
story just points to the fact that they don't know what they're doing. They're just throwing blanket shit all over the place, seeing what sticks, hoping something good happens out of it. Well, I don't. When you throw shit all over the wall, nobody's screaming to you for, oh, we want some more. Slap us around some more. Treat us like shit again. Call us peasants again.
But we've got to stop the news organisations giving you false hope, giving the world false hope. I'm sick of hearing headlines like, Trump fails, will end Trump. Trump in big trouble. Yeah. Trump panicking. Trump,
you know what's going to end Trump? When the American people rise up and decide enough is enough of this bullshit. That's when it's going to happen. We can't let that happen violently. We can't take violence into our hands. We can't storm the Capitol. We can't do that. That's not our forte in life.
Well,
we formed a government.
Dave, right. And to Aussie Dave's point, I think that what you're describing is hopium, right? Aussie Dave? Hopium.
Yep. Hopium.
That's dangerous. And here's why. Because people start thinking, oh, okay, Trump is falling apart. He's reaching his final days. Nope. We don't have anything to really worry about here. Who needs to go out and protest anymore? We got this licked. No. Mm-mm. We got to fucking be harder and stronger. And, in my local area here at my state capital this last weekend, the crowd was 5 times bigger than when I was there 3 weeks ago.
There you
go. We had 15,000 people.
Yeah, but I mean,
3,000.
You were paid protesters by George Soros. He paid you.
Yeah, everybody got a check.
Of course.
Everybody got a check. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. George Soros paid everybody.
And I think you're gonna see this continue with more, especially with organized this 50-51. The organizations John, that are promoting
George Soros is running out of money. He can't pay for another one.
Oh yeah, good. He's got deep pockets. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
I'm sure he does.
Everybody gets a check. Everybody gets a check. Show up at the protest, you get a check.
But the money in politics it's just bad.
This is we're kidding. George Soros did not pay them. This is just a claim that Trump came out with on his Truth Social, that it was George Soros who had paid everybody who protested on Saturday.
That song
just so
is
that everybody's aware
old.
That we're not actually, we don't believe this. It was Trump.
No, we have to be cautiously optimistic, and we have to fight like the U.S. could turn into the USSR.
You can fight like you're fixing to lose your country, because if we don't, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yep.
It'll be a slow death. It just, keep doing shit until you just end up drinking vodka and just, shut up and drink your vodka. Juanita, we needed another female
American
voice up
people,
here. Miss Chick needed some backup. How are you doing?
American people are losing control of their country. The Americans had control of their country decades ago, and slowly, bit by bit, after every election, a little bit of American control, people control, has been lost. And the only way you're going to sort this out and get back on an even keel, the only true thing Musk has ever said is that paper ballots are the only way to run an election, because you can recount that stuff and you can't hack it. But with computer stuff, you can hack it. You can do all sorts of weird shit.
Well, we don't forget Florida with the hanging chads. But I'd rather go through the hanging chads than the feeling. Again, Donald Trump is the president. He won the election.
Well, that's
I try so hard to believe that, but deep in my heart, I can't help but think to myself, they fucking cheated somehow. Because the night of the election, though all the talking heads on the TV were talking about, it's going to be days before we know, we're going to have to count the votes here, there, and the other way. What's this? Breaking news. Oh, well, Donald Trump is president. It was happened that fast. And then Donald Trump's comment about, at his celebration there, was talking about that Elon Musk really knows them voting machines. What the fuck is that? A Freudian slip?
Yep.
Yeah, a little thing. Yeah, he cheated. Mom to two. That's what, I can't help but think that, he cheated. Somehow they got his ass
Americans would not put him back in after the last time, and everything happened in between.
Oh, what was it? Somebody right before the show. Anyway. Check your registration. Constantly check your registration. Make sure that especially you get anywhere near an election in your town, make sure you check before you go, before election day, long before. Because they're making it difficult. If you got married, change your name. Oh shit, no, may not be able to vote there.
That's
anyway, I digress. Juanita, how are you, darling?
I'm doing fine. But listen, didn't I see you wearing a shirt one day that it said Cat Daddy?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay. So you're a cat aficionado.
I am what? I'm what now?
A cat aficionado.
Yes.
Blah, blah,
darling,
blah.
I have cats. I have dogs. I have a bird, big ass bird. Got turtle, snakes.
I bet I have more cats than you do.
Well, now wait a minute now. Just how many cats are you talking about? Because I can count 20 at least on my front porch every morning. All sitting there meowing.
I have at least 28. And the reason I got on here a little bit late was because I had run down to the Dollar General, and when I come home, and my husband said, "There's a present for you on the porch." Well, I've got a bunch of cats that are damn pregnant, right? I didn't get them pregnant.
Yeah, I know the feeling. You look out there on the porch and you look at one of them and you go, "Oh, you little shit! What the hell?"
I know. Tramp, anyhow.
Yes. Slut.
Yeah. But I said, what? Oh, a kitten? And he said, a bunch of them. Well, there were 6 little kitties on my porch swing, and there I've got a couple of beds set up there. Some of them like to sit up there. And there's 6 little kitties. 2 of them were dead. They were real tiny. I don't think they were really ready to go. But here's the deal, is that friggin' cat wants nothing to do with them.
All right.
I mean, she laid down on the porch, and I picked up the kittens and put them down, put them on her.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Moved. She got up.
She got up and went under. She went under the porch.
Yeah,
so
that's going to be
I'm
rough,
hoping,
baby.
Well, I don't like it because they're brand new, and I don't know. I found a litter one time that was about 3 weeks old, and I was able to take care of them, get them all out. And matter of fact, my only one inside cat was from that litter. But I've been taking care of strays and, rescue.
Oh, baby,
kitties
we're big animal lovers in this house. Always have
17 years.
Yeah.
Would you believe that when we moved from Northwest Florida to Northeast Alabama 7 years ago. Would you believe that I personally drove? Yeah, I think I took 2 trips to do it. Like
chickens.
18
I got
cats.
raccoons.
Oh my God, we've got raccoons, we've got possums.
Underhill in the comment, all that, no chickens. I used to have chickens. Still have the old chicken coop out there. But, I got tired of waking up in the morning going out there and seeing a trail of feathers where bloody murder happened, where some raccoon went in there and got a chicken. And yeah,
Raccoons
so I did it.
get on chickens? I didn't know that.
I guess. Whatever it was, I'm guessing it was raccoons.
You hoping it was raccoons?
Oh, it'd be like bloody murder in there. It's like, shit. Yeah, I miss my eggs. But, love of animals is, well, and again, love will make you do
stupid things. We had a dog one time. He was German Shepherd, and we don't know the other half because his daddy was a traveling man. And we named him Elvis. And we lived rural in Florida too, but our across the street neighbor had chickens. Well, you know what happened? We were all standing there, and he ran down the driveway. He ran around us with a damn chicken in his mouth.
Oh,
well,
shit.
we all freaked out, and we're jumping up and down. Elvis, put that down. Well, what he did, he went around the back of the shed, and he buried that chicken. But he buried it. We all walked around there. The damn chicken's got buried, but his feet are sticking up out of the dirt. He didn't bury
Oh,
it all.
shit.
It was funny as hell. I wish I'd been able, got a camera and got a good picture. But that's the kind of day I was.
I like B. Sanders' comment in the chat. I caught hold of it. I said, I have 2 chickens in my living room every night because of coons. I could live like I could. I don't, but I could.
Well,
my wife
these
never would let
cats
me,
out here will eat with those raccoons.
Caleb,
They'll eat
thank
out.
you.
I have dishes
Rescue
that have
pig,
4.
outstanding.
Yeah. They'll eat together. It's the weirdest thing I ever seen in my life. But oh well. But listen, is anybody thinking about doing the protest stuff on the 19th? I might have missed y'all talking about that. Or if you did.
Every protest that comes up, we need to be interested in.
Yeah.
Every one of them. If you have the opportunity, go. It will make you feel better, and it'll make it's good for the country. What's good for the country?
Yeah, I
good for
know.
soul.
I felt
all
really
of that.
good. I felt great after the last one, and I'm going to go to every one I can.
That's that's the attitude we need to take right there. Go to every one of them you
bring
can.
your chickens.
I have my protest sign in the car now.
Bring
Me and Tyler leave it in the car in case we go to another protest. We're going to be ready. I need a new sign though. I want to make another sign. But yeah, it's a way to make your voice heard, and that's what we need more than anything else is your voice. Let them know you're pissed. Let them know you're concerned. Let them know your cat food just went up in price. Your dog food.
Yeah. Oh God. Hey, could you tell my husband that I need to have my voice heard? Never mind.
Well,
it's a joke.
In-house politics. I'm not.
You're not going
to
get
What's that old saying that old boy
in
used to say? I'm the boss of my house, and I have my wife's permission to say that.
Permission?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It sounds like we say, "Roll it, John." Music. Our favorite song here on Blue Dot.
Oh, what? That one? This one?
Yeah, it would be the one.
The one we did.
I need you to shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
That's what you need to tell the right in general.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
It just does. It makes my foot tap. It makes me smile.
Me too.
It does. It's an uplifting song. And what could be a better message? Shut the fuck up. I'm listening to the song.
Actual song. Yeah. Did anyone else see on TV today? I saw something about. No, my mind's going south. Chinese people being in the Russian army now. You know how they did the North Koreans?
Yep. The Chinese are fighting for the
Russians
against Ukrainians.
No, I had not heard that.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. They found the dead bodies.
You know, that tells you everything. The fact that he has North Korean soldiers fighting for him.
Yep.
You know,
Well, they're trying to back it off and say that it was like, mercenaries. Yeah.
If you're hiring mercenaries, your army is not that powerful. With right support from the United States and EU, the Ukraine would crush fucking Russia in this shit. Crush them. Send them back packing. As a matter of fact, they can take that shit to Moscow. That's how powerful they could be. But they're not, because we won't allow it.
Not like the old days, is it?
No.
The old days, Ukraine was never. I mean, what do you?
Well, the old days when Biden was president, we were.
Oh, you're talking about USSR? Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what Putin wants. He wants to reinstitute the USSR. So when he gets done with Ukraine, he'll turn to Poland and the Baltic states up there.
But the USSR, they attacked Finland in 1939, and they struggled. And they attacked Afghanistan in 1980, and they struggled there. They're not really that strong.
Yeah, I think.
Well, they didn't attack him in 1939.
Well, if you listen to Donald Trump, they're the most powerful fucking entity on the planet.
Yeah.
Because that's the way he's treating them.
They're really not that. Without the nukes, they're not really that intimidating. Actually, the Russians.
Well, that is it. The Russian army is turned out to be another toothless tiger. You're right, Yelly Man. He's got the technology, but he hasn't got the manpower.
Therein lies the problem. And in today's world, it's not about boots on the ground. It's about missiles and submarines. That's where the power lies. That's where the danger lies to world peace.
But Russia is running out of money, and
Russia is going to get desperate.
Yeah, and that's when they run out of money, that's when things are going to get dangerous.
Well, don't worry. By that time, Trump would have already thrown Ukraine to the wolves, handed it over, because that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
That's what's so pitiful about watching this shit, is him trying to, I don't know, somebody said he wanted the Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize for bringing peace to Ukraine. Not a fucking inch, buddy. Any gain of ground that Russia takes from Ukraine is a failure. If they negotiate anything other than the original border, this is a screw job orchestrated by Donald Trump.
I want to make a point that these soldiers that are dying, they're not dying. The Chinese soldiers, the North Koreans, the Russians, Ukrainian. Let's face it, these people are dying.
They're not dying for a noble cause.
People. They're dying for rich people. They're dying for fascists. They're not dying because their country's under attack or their people are under attack.
Yeah, there's no patriotism on the other side over there. Russia in that shit. There's no national feeling of we have to take Ukraine. No, but on the other side of that, you bet your ass, Ukraine is the one that's standing up for their country, that are being the patriotic, willing to lay down their life for freedom and democracy. The way we did a long time ago, when we believed in that. Several months ago.
In World War II, we were fighting to stop the world falling into a fascist / communist / dictatorship control, and we all were on the same page. This time, it's
Donnie's
fighting,
even threatening to pull out of NATO.
It's a mess. It's just a mashed potato, pile of mashed potato. No one can sort out the one potato from the other. Who's on Donnie's side? Well, if I was Donald, I'd say I can't trust anyone, because I think people lie to him to get on his good side, because they do fear him, because he's got a big fucking mouth, and that's all he's got. Let's face it, that's all he's got is a big friggin' mouth. What can he do to anyone?
Here's what I see on the national stage with Russia and Ukraine in particular. Trump is good at delay tactics, not only in the courtroom, but on the world stage. And all I see here with this Russia-Ukraine thing is, these statements by Marco Rubio. Oh, we'll find out in a few weeks, not months, but a few weeks, whether Russia is prepared to make a deal. And it's like, no, dude, no, they're not. They've been at this shit for fucking 10 years. That's a lie. That's a lie. And from what I can tell, they're doing the delay thing to try to, basically what it looks like to me is they're trying to wait until Biden's aid package runs out in June. And then there you go.
Well, they do delay the point where they say, oh, oops, it's too late. Oops, it's too late.
Yeah.
What did we say? Justice delayed, justice denied.
Justice delayed is justice denied, and he is a master at that shit. We watched him for 4 years evade damn near any responsibility for what he's done.
Think about this for a second. Joe Biden provided $120 billion of munitions that we profited off of, by the way, and fucking was able to stave off the Russian incursion. If we gave them another $120 billion, or maybe even double that, that would make a big difference. We don't want to do any of that, though, but we want to spend an extra $1 trillion on defense spending. If we gave half of that to Ukraine, they would annihilate Russia. It would be game over, done.
And again, when you say give Ukraine that money, it's not really money. It's the weapons that American companies produce that we give to Ukraine to fight. So it's American contractors, defense contractors, that make the money, and that's always the way it is. It's always the way it is, baby. Oh man, I'm telling you, when it comes to
but you're not sure when it comes to sending weapons to Israel, so they can kill innocent people in Gaza.
Well, they're just people. They're just people. Though.
I mean,
Trump made that perfectly. They're just people.
That's just a kick in the teeth
that need to be moved out of the way.
Desensitize people. He's making American people desensitized to.
It's the dumbing down of America. People. But we can't lay this off really on anything else but ourselves. Apathy kills more than anything else. The turning a blind eye. I don't give a shit about voting. It doesn't make any sense anyway. It doesn't make a difference. My vote doesn't. It does. What makes a difference is when you make that decision and you don't vote. That's what makes the difficulty. That's what makes the problem. It's our voice, our vote. But apathy, that's what, not everybody shows up to vote, baby. But when times turn bad, when things get rough, when things at the store start costing more and more, and you start paying attention to the news saying, well, what's this tariff bullshit? Well, then you need to get your ass in the game. We all need to have our ass in this game.
And this guy, Mike Johnson. This guy, Mike Johnson. Set me straight here, people. What is his plan? Because he's out there selling himself as a godly, great fucking person that hates gays and hates LGBTQ, and yet what's going on in the background here?
He's a cult follower of quasi-religion. Yes.
He wants Congress flat on their fucking back and not doing a goddamn thing. That's what Mike Johnson
But was he on Grindr or not? I heard
that.
We've been hearing
I don't know. I heard a story that he was on Grindr, which, if you don't know what Grindr is, well, that's a meetup app for gay people. Ain't it?
Who was on Grindr?
I mean, that's all useless.
Yeah, that's just.
I get it. It's just useless clutter at this point. The problem with Mike Johnson is he's a fucking
I don't
loyalist.
care if he's on Grindr. I don't care if he's gay. If he's gay, I wish him all the,
Yeah. But be honest with the American people. Don't lie.
No, it is kind of interesting that he is gay. But it is interesting if he is gay while he is doing all this anti-gay shit. That
wouldn't be the first time in history that's happened, though.
It's easy to spread those rumors.
But it is interesting.
I wish I had a list of the names. The one that sticks out in my mind, I can't remember his name, but was the guy in Oklahoma, a big Republican. Oh, Lord, preach the Bible from everywhere, just hell and damnation, all this against gay people and all this, and they found him in a motel room with a young boy.
Oh,
Was that redhead guy?
I mean, but that story has been replicated. And what you do behind closed doors, that's your business, man. But when you bring it out into the table and you deny other people the same things that you're doing, hypocrisy, baby, that's the least of it.
And he's the one that him and his son or stepson, they track each other's
oh yeah, that's Mike Johnson and his
behavior.
son, in case you go on any porn sites and start looking.
Yeah.
That never even crossed my mind with my kids. And why would it?
I know it. It doesn't sound
right. And if
right,
they do, I don't really want to know about it.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, this hypocrisy that these people obviously have behind closed doors. What's a bigger problem is when they bring that same hypocrisy, that characteristic trait, to the political and world front. That's where we have we're now all of a sudden we're affected. Because I ain't on Grindr, so I don't it's like I could care less what he does behind closed doors. But when you are like a terminal hypocrite, terminally, like that's all you are, is a hypocrite. You don't need to be the fucking Speaker of the House. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, he's offered cuts to Medicaid, I understand. And the area that he represents in Louisiana is full of people, lower income people.
Dare you say? Dare you say?
How dare I?
Yeah, that they would take away health care or Medicaid or from their poor constituents.
Yeah.
They would. Yeah, they would.
I'm just saying because he's such a big, proponent of taking, lowering, getting rid of Medicaid, and the people that voted him in are a large group that need it. You better watch out, because they might vote the other way the next time. Is what I'm saying.
Republicans think that citizens are just a necessary
evil.
Yeah, that they have to have just to build things, to make things, feed them shit and let them work their ass off. That's the way the right has looked at it. While they sell patriotism and wave the flag and let the eagle fly by and all that shit, put a bumper sticker on your truck and all that, then they fuck them over in a heartbeat.
Oh,
They'll convince them that right to work state's a great thing. Yeah, it's a great thing. Don't worry about a union. You don't need a union. You have a right to work, son. Well, it sounds real good until you read the fine print. That's what the Republicans are good at, selling bullshit to working America, because they figure half of them is dumb enough to fall for it. And that's
out of 300 million people, you're bound to have a couple of million that are stupid.
Yeah.
Every country's going to have that.
Rolls around a bumper sticker.
Well, yeah. But, back on these tariff things, he's told other countries, I have read this shit, and he's basically saying, look, if you cut us a check, or if you spend money on your military and still cut us a check, and if you build a factory in our country, we'll drop the tariffs, we'll negotiate the tariffs. Is that gangster shit or what?
It is.
He's trying to control
It's
extortion. It is extortion 101.
That's exactly what it is. Give me what I want, now, or I'm, it's a pretty nice country you have here. It'd be a shame something happened to it. That's exactly what tactic he's using.
These countries are going to say, hang on. Some of these countries, John, only buy small amounts of stuff. It may not be
the patriotic thing to do, but I'm rooting for the EU. I'm rooting for the other countries right now to stand up against this bullshit. That's what I'm kind of hoping. I don't want his.
Well, that's going to happen. The EU just announced tariffs on the United States, so
it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt everybody.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Dave, but you told me that
this is bullying by the United States. That's all this is.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not sure if Australia is going to retaliate. You know more about that, Dave.
What are you talking about?
Are you going to retaliate against America, the tariffs?
Absolutely. I mean, one of the conditions Trump had in those tariffs, and it concerns us in particular, one of the conditions was that you buy more arms from us. We had and I think it's going to be cancelled, but we had an $umpteen billion submarine deal just signed with America that we cancelled with France.
Yep.
So we're saying to him, "Fuck you." We're happy to close that contract. We are now happy to walk away from it because other countries are stepping up and saying.
Yeah, but my question was: Are Australia putting tariffs on America? That was my question.
We will, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I would imagine they would. They will. They'll put retaliatory.
Every country's going to do it.
Every country.
They've all said they're going to retaliate. Yes, and that's what Trump also said in his little statement to these countries. He said, with non-retaliatory agendas, meaning that long as these countries that want to give you a check or want to build a factory don't retaliate in any way. In other words, don't you dare put tariffs on us in America. We can only put tariffs on you. But you don't.
That's some arrogant piece. That's so arrogant, you know.
No, that's extortion.
That's Donnie. That's Donnie.
Yeah,
he is arrogant. Hey, let me send out a big thank you to Peter. Peter didn't write a comment, so it didn't pop up on the screen. But Peter came in with a $50 donation. So Peter, thank you very much. Appreciate that tremendously, brother. Well, I guess we ought to wrap it up for the evening. I appreciate everybody coming by.
Trouble?
Huh?
Have you caused enough trouble today?
I've caused enough trouble today. I'm made
a mark.
John's in a I'm in a good place. I mean, I'm not but yeah, my days are ate up. They're lonely. I miss my wife tremendously. I look out my door now, my donkey's gone. It's kind of hard to
Why did you move Jenny on? Why did you move Jenny?
Because when you love something, it's enough. There's her safety and her it was more important to me than looking out that door and just seeing her. I know she's safe. I know she's happy where she's at. And I don't have to worry about her. Huh?
Do you still see her?
Yeah, she's in a location where I can see her. Yeah.
Good.
And yeah. So
Jenny knows that you're still around.
I'm still around. I'm still here.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I didn't desert her. Yeah.
With animals, as you know, I know animals.
Yeah.
With animals, Jenny's first concern, and I'm not being nasty here, but she's an animal. Her first concern is food and shelter. And if she's got good food and shelter, she's happy. Her following concerns are her company. Whoever she's with, if they're good people, she's going to be happy. But if she sees you on an occasional basis, her life is fulfilled.
And that's what I want. I've had her for over 20 years. She's grown old, and I just don't want her to have to run.
Well, she's happy, John.
Yeah, she is.
Feel good. She's happy. She's happy, so you feel good.
And ask in the chat, just ask, what about the new puppies? They're all doing fine. 8 new little puppies in the house. It's a circus of moving dogs around and not letting certain dogs get together.
For you, John.
Yes.
If you have 20 cats, how do you manage all the cat shit and all that piss and all that stuff?
Hey, they're outside. All right? They're outside. They're not in the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take your shit and your piss out there in the bushes somewhere. There's plenty of places around here.
The males and sterilize the females.
Oh, I gave up on, it is what it is. I do occasionally will try to get one of them to take down to the cattery to get fixed or something like that. But,
what he does,
on the grand scheme of things
what
right now.
He gives all the female cats the night after pill or the morning after, whatever they call it.
Pill. And
morning after. He gives all the cats.
Snarl at them. Don't you do it. I have one of our blue dots, Pauline, who has for probably well over a year, every month there is a shipment that comes to my house, and it's cat food. in bags. And
Very nice.
So she has been a truly a godsend for my cats. Yeah. So I've got plenty of cat food for them, and yeah. It's a happy life, you know. Everybody gets along out here. I see the raccoons come up and finish the cat food when the cats are laying right there, you know. So there's no animosity between the cats and the raccoons. Everybody just kind of gets along out here, you know.
Oh, before I forget,
animal population anyway.
Major Tyler Green has been caught.
Mice and rats, because you have some.
Major Tyler Green's been caught with insider trading, so that may be buried, but. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been caught dealing in shares that were
I'm aghast.
With countries that were going to be tariffed, and she insider traded before the tariffs are put on. So she had information about what was going on and used it, and she's been caught. Whether it goes anywhere, I don't know. This is being reported by the Young Turks.
And if the truth be told, Dave, that is a problem that has plagued our system. That Congress, same as anybody else, has a right to invest in all this, but I'm under the belief that their money should be in a blind trust, because they deal in so much that impacts the stock market, and we've seen time and time again Republicans and Democrats get caught for insider trading and you know it goes on a daily basis. You know, there ain't a single congressperson up there that ain't a millionaire. And they get a lot richer once they get in there. How does that go? Pay doesn't go up.
I saw where our president sold off his Truth Social stock, most of it, the night before it tanked.
Yep. $2 billion he sold off.
Yep.
I'm sure he just...
it
was on a whim,
He wasn't a billionaire. He was not a billionaire in 2016. He was highly in debt and had his name plastered everywhere. And all of a sudden he becomes president.
Oh, buddy. Yep. Yeah, the coffers have just opened up for him immensely, I am sure. He doesn't have a damn thing to worry about. You know.
His ass should be in prison.
His ass should be in prison. Anyway, I guess we'll wrap it up for the evening. Yelly Man. Thank you, brother, for coming in. Always enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. It was a good show, and I hope everything works out for you in America. But
for the world, buddy.
I'm not so optimistic about it.
Let's hope it works out for the world.
Yeah,
we could all use a little relief from this asshole, not just us in this country.
Let's hope.
That's why you're here.
He's done a lot of damage.
Yeah. This doesn't only affect the United States, it affects the world.
Yeah,
and we're a worldly family. We're worldwide.
We are, yeah.
We
you
are.
have like a world. Yeah, you have a world family here.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yeah. We have an international family, and I'm very proud of that. That this family meeting gets that much circulation. Anyway.
But it's kind of fitting when everything you do affects the world, so it's good that you have
a small world
in your family.
Yeah, I think they wrote a song about that.
Yeah, we are the world.
We are indeed. Right. Anyway, Yellow Man, take care of yourself and come back, brother.
See you later, John. See you. Bye-bye.
You bet. And Dave, always appreciate it. You don't have to raise your hand, buddy. Just show up down there. I'll nab your ass.
Well, I always say to the boys, it's John's show, and what I do and what he does. Well, John should look at the crowd he's got downstairs and that audience and say, I'm going to make a cake. And he takes the ingredients from the audience and builds a show around that.
There you go.
You know?
It's an open table, baby. We try to get as many in here as we can. We can't let the room get too crowded, because then you can't, it's kind of hard to hear one voice. But
sorry, Mr. Chick, I didn't read your last couple of DMs last show. I read your first couple of DMs, which I replied to. But when you sent me the DMs, Mr. Chick sent me messages when her last show, when she had to fall off the cliff because of her electricity or whatever. She sent me a list of all the shit sharers, and I forgot. Well, I didn't see the list, so I had a duty.
You're the reason we didn't have shit share day. I see.
Yeah.
You're fired, Dave.
You're fired,
Not
Dave.
because of Mitch Chick.
Gave you one thing. Gave you one job, dude.
Just one thing.
Fuck it up. Just one thing.
One job, yeah.
That's
Good
all
night,
right,
America.
buddy. Good night, Dave. And thank you for coming in, brother. We appreciate it tremendously. And Kirk.
Hey, John.
Our resident pissed off personality. I'm loving it, brother.
Well,
you always
here's
bring
my
something
final
to the table.
message for today.
What's that?
My final message for today is Kamala Harris, during her campaign, about a dozen times told us Donald Trump's economic policies would send this country into a recession by the middle of this year. So with that said, all I got to say to everybody out there, don't blame me. I voted for the black woman.
I voted for the, that's it. I voted for the black woman, man. Don't blame me. Yeah, indeed. It's her predictions coming true. And I'm glad I seen her speaking the other day. I enjoyed watching her speak, but I enjoyed more that little grin that was on her face. Yeah. It was that little grin of, I told you. Told you so. I tried to tell you. Indeed, Kirk. Come back, brother. I appreciate it.
All right. Take care, buddy.
You bet. And Juanita.
Oh, yes. Catwoman.
Catwoman. I'm glad there's somebody else out there besides me. I'm sure there's a shitload of them out there.
Oh,
that have an open heart and a big heart and enough property to let them.
When I meet people out in town and all, I'm trying to tell them where I live out here, and I'll finally get to the point where I say, okay, it's the last house on the right before you get into the next county, and they almost always say, oh, the one with all the cats.
Oh, the one with the cat lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are the cat lady.
There's a gas station in town, and I don't know how this guy does it, but and it's a busy kind of area. I stop by and drop him off a bag of cat food because Pauline says enough, and occasionally I want to spread that wealth around. And but he's got I don't know how many. They all live in these the tires behind the station. When they throw the old tires, they're all up in there. Put a tarp up there, and he feeds them and whatnot. But yeah, I always and you'll drive up to get gas, and there's a cat sitting up on the pump, just sitting there. How you doing? I love it. But yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Well,
if it weren't for animals, baby, it'd be our pets are our love of animals. Even going to the aquarium today, where I could actually reach down and pet a stingray. So that was cool. Just sit there.
Yeah, these cats were not supposed to be pets, but they kind of turned out that way.
Yeah, none of mine are pets. Nothing, but they show up on that porch every morning, every damn.
It's like they have watches, isn't it?
Huh?
They know what time you're
going. Oh, they have a watch? Hell yes, they do. Probably have a little cell phone with a digital watch on it. Look, he's late. And I'm telling you, if I'm late, they let me know. It's like they all come up to the door, and then that bothers whatever dog is loose because it starts barking at the cats, and the cats will just sit there, knowing the dog can't do shit because my front door has glass all the way down. So, it's eyeball to eyeball. Anyway. Juanita, thank you for coming in, darling.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm
You have a good night.
All right, you too. Night.
Good night. And Mrs. Chick.
And John.
Oh, Lord. Well, that was fun.
Yeah. Well, it was fun.
I had a good show.
There was a lot of nice people in.
Got anybody you want to call out tonight? Since Dave dropped the ball, and I don't want to rub it
in. Yeah, put him on notice.
Yeah.
Dave ain't
one
here,
job,
man.
one thing to do.
I want to call out everyone. Just be vigilant with the voting registration. They are still going at it so strong, trying to take away votes. I mean, even in North Carolina with Griffin, he's a Supreme Court judge in North Carolina. They're trying to get rid of a bunch of voters because he lost that particular election, and he's got it all caught up. And yeah, he had a list. I went to look at the list tonight, and it disappeared. The list disappeared. So,
really?
Yeah. He had like 67,000 people he wanted to eject off of there and have it recounted.
Of course he does.
That's how it works. We don't get the number we want. We just go through and say,
we'll go through until we do get the number. Find me
Yeah.
11,400, whatever it was, votes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Eliminate 6,000 votes for him, or 6,000 votes for him. Yeah. Anyways, there was something else, but and keep your eye out on the 5051 protests in particular. I know Indivisible is following them, and there's a couple other ones. They're working together. There's almost always every weekend something going on, but the next larger one I think is the 19th of April.
The 19th, I understand.
Going to be similar to the one we just had. So we like I told you at the beginning, we had that started out with only 72,000 people in February. And now we had what did I say? 5.2 million this last weekend?
Yeah.
Yes.
Substantially
Let's see if
higher.
we can double that, people. Let's double that. The more momentum we can
let's keep
going,
that momentum going.
Let's do it.
And Mark, our Blue
Others
Dot reader,
getting better
reminded
in
it
some places,
was
and,
11,780 votes. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, it's a wonder that number isn't burned into our brain.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to forget it, is what we're trying to do.
What
we can't.
No.
It's a big deal.
Because that's the kind of guy we got for a president now, a crook. Anyway, you got any shit shares you want to call out tonight?
I do have some shit shares.
Who are these shit shares that shared this shit?
Well, on Facebook, we have very brave citizens. They also like to share this shit, and we want you to like, share, and subscribe here on YouTube also. But if you're on Facebook, share the shit out of this, especially John's rants.
Which
you didn't do one today, and that's okay. Yeah.
No, I didn't do one today. I did one yesterday, and I had to do it in the car.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty short one, but got the point across.
Okay. People shared it. They shared it.
They shared that shit too.
People like Robert E. from Florida, Gaylyn M. from Louisiana, Stephen S. from California, Scott H. from New York, Connie E. from Pennsylvania, Andrew M. from Michigan, and Judy K. from North Carolina. All shared.
All shared this shit.
Yeah.
And you could be a shit sharer too. All you got to do down there is share this shit. That's it. That's the only requirement. Anyway, Missy Chick, thank you so much for everything you do. And to everybody else, I don't know. Tomorrow's going to be a new day. If you're like me, right now, every morning I wake up. It's I have to wait until the market opens, but I got my eye on that market just nowadays, just to see which way the wind is blowing today, and it's an indicator of what's going to happen. Anyway, so keep your nose to the news, see what's going on. If there's a protest in your area, I highly recommend you do it, that you get involved. Call your local Democratic headquarters, find out what's going on in your area, be involved in this whole damn story, because it's going to be a big one, and it's going to determine our future. So, yeah, do that. And outside of that, do it with a smile. Do it with a damn smile on your face. So that way you give that shit away and make somebody else smile, and the whole world just gets better that way. Anyway, I love y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting up with me, and I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all say goodnight.
Good night, Dave. Good night, John.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all on Thursday. Yeah, we'll be back on